Oh, hello, Greg. Right on schedule. Aren't you the early bird? Hello, CW. The ladies are late today. Usually they're right there. Well, good day. It's May. Oh my goodness. Is it the 4th or the 5th? Hold on a second. Let me find out. I just got to pull my screen down and see what we got. The 5th, it is. Okay, Cinco de Mayo. What'd you say? For once. Cinco de Mayo, May 5th, 2025. For all you, do you do Cinco de Mayo, Greg, at your house? What was that from anyway? What was was that a revolutionary thing, or was that a religious thing? I can't remember. You never know. No Cinco de Mayo. It was probably a Masonic revolutionary thing. Anyway, all right. So we're going to continue with the and conclude today. Actually, I should have put on the title "Concluding the Freemasonry chapter." We're going to go over a little bit more about what it's about, what it does, and I'm going to list off a whole bunch of famous Masons, just so that you might recognize or maybe be surprised by. So let's get started first with that prayer from St. Catherine of Siena. I really like that one. So, in nomine Dei, matronam nostra, et Deum Iesum Christum, et Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum. O my Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum, please come into my heart. Be thy power, O Deum, draw me to thyself, and grant me charity with filial fear. Keep me, O ineffable love, from every evil thought. Warm and kindle me with thy sweetest love, and every suffering will seem light to me. O my Deum, Patrum Spiritum Sanctum, please help me in all thoughts, words, and actions. O my Deum, Patrum Spiritum Sanctum, I love thee. My Deum, Patrum Spiritum Sanctum, I love thee. Great way to start out the day. We'll do the Good Day Rising prayers, and then we'll get into the Masons. Let us place ourselves in the presence of the Most Holy Trinity, and in Catholic contemplation humbly venerate the Divine Family. Most Holy and Venerable Trinity, one Divine Family, I believe that thou art here present. I venerate thee with the deepest humility. I render to thee with my whole heart the homage which is due to thee. O most Holy Trinity, relying on thy infinite goodness and promises, I hope to obtain pardon of my sins, the help of thy grace, and life everlasting, through the merits of Deum Iesum Christum, et Deum Matronam Nostrae. O most Holy Trinity, I love thee above all things with my whole heart and soul, because thou art all good and worthy of all love. I love my neighbor as myself for love of thee, and I forgive all who have injured me, and ask pardon of all whom I have injured. Let us thank the Most Holy Trinity for the many graces that we receive, and offer ourselves and our sufferings up to heaven and for the souls in purgatory. O most Holy Trinity, I most humbly thank thee for all the favors thou hast bestowed upon me to the present moment. It is again thanks to thy bounty that I should live to see this day, and I desire to employ it solely in thy service. I consecrate to thee all my thoughts, words, actions, and sufferings of this day. Sanctify them, that there may be none that is not animated by thy love, or that would not tend to thy greater glory. Let us make a firm resolution to avoid evil and to do good, and let us beg of the Most Holy Trinity the graces which are necessary to us. O most Holy Trinity, thou knowest my weakness, and that I am unable to do anything good without the help of thy grace. Deny me not thy grace, O God, proportionate to my necessities. Give me strength to avoid everything which thou forbiddest, to practice the good which thou hast commanded, and enable me patiently to bear all the trials which it may please thee to send me. O Dea Matronam Nostrae, Mother of God, I place myself under thy protection. I throw myself with confidence into the arms of thy compassion. Be to me, O Mother of Mercy, my refuge in distress, my consolation in suffering, now and at the hour of my death. O Most Holy Trinity, as envisioned by St. Lucia as the Most Holy Trinitarian Theophany, Dea Matronam Nostrae et Deum Iesum Christum et Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum. I am heartily sorry for having offended thee, and I detest all my sins, because I dread the loss of heaven and the pains of hell, but most of all, because they offend thee, O Most Holy Trinity, who are all good and deserving of all my love. I firmly resolve, with the help of thy grace, to confess my sins, to do penance, and to amend my life. Okay, there's CJ. I'm going to just chat here, see who. Yeah, okay. Thank you very much, CW. You're right. No meaning to the USA except drinking. It was a battle against the French in Mexico. Okay. All right. So that settles that. Speaking of Masons, I like the way you did that, CW. Below are some of the more prominent Freemasons' histories. Have they influenced you? Quote, if you be wise like Solomon, you will perform the works of Solomon. If you be holy like Christ, you will accomplish the works of Christ. To direct the currents of the inconstant light, we must be established in the constant light. To command the elements, we must have overcome their hurricanes, their lightnings, their abysses, their tempests. In order to dare, we must know. In order to will, we must dare. We must will to possess empire, and to reign, we must be silent. Unquote. The Doctrine of Transcendental Magic, Part 2, page 10. I've never read that before until now. And how appropriate is it with regards to what is going on with the weather, with the fires, with their ill intentions, and with their empire building plans. It's all satanic. Quote, we must be mild and considerate to all, but in social relations must never permit ourselves to be absorbed, and must withdraw from circles in which we cannot acquire some initiative. Finally, we may and should fulfill the duties and practice the rites of the cultus to which we belong. Unquote. The Doctrine of Transcendental Magic, Part 2, page 15, which reminds me of the video that I watched of this young, let's say late teens girl who was escaping from their cult in New Jersey and basically telling on her father, who was committing this egregious acts of Satanism with children and whatnot, and she was coming out about it, and she was saying he was a very prominent member of the town. So that's where you have to look most suspiciously, is at your town leaders, because they're told that they have to be put in these positions to acquire some initiative and not to stay where they can't. So our goal is to get a Catholic society set up, encouraged, known, so that those initiatives can't be set up, so that they can be squashed as soon as they're attempted. But with the ignorant, they can't recognize those people who are trying to do that. They can't recognize the manipulation and the moves Quote, perhaps the rumors of vast underground conspiracies were true after all. Perhaps the Brotherhood really existed. It was impossible, in spite of the endless arrests and confessions and executions, to be sure that the Brotherhood was not simply a myth. Some days he believed in it, some days not. There was no evidence, only fleeting glimpses that might mean anything or nothing. Snatches of overheard conversation, faint scribbles on lavatory walls. Once, even when two strangers met, a small movement of the hand which had looked as though it might be a signal of recognition. Unquote. George Orwell's 1984, page 9. So let us begin listing these characters. Christopher Columbus. I'm just going to name the ones that I recognize. Some of them I don't recognize. Martin Luther initiated the Protestant Reformation, founded Lutheranism. Christopher Columbus explored the New World, quote unquote, New World, initiated the, it's cut off there, colonization. We do know he was also had Jewish roots, or we believe he had Jewish roots, Christopher Columbus, and was part of that time in history where Catholic Spain had had enough of them and was expelling them, or, you know, you either convert to Catholicism or you leave the country. So supposedly the story goes Christopher Columbus made a deal to go and explore and to leave the country. Maybe that wasn't such a great idea. Maybe Spain should have kept them isolated in an area. Okay, then there's Ignatius of Loyola. Founded the Society of Jesus, religious leader during the Counter-Reformation. France's first Renaissance monarch, Francis I, gave rise to the Protestant Reformation. Charles V, Habsburg Holy Roman Emperor, King of Spain, oversaw America's colonization. Somebody mentioned how could, I was reading in comments on the website, how could Leo XIII, who posted a bull against Freemasonry, how could he be a Freemason? And you have to remember in the times that they're in, they're conflicted, and they have to do a certain amount, otherwise they would not be able to attain their goals over time. And one way that you know that he was because he continued pushing the Lord worship. So that's one thing that they did know about and kept hidden. Ferdinand I, Roman Emperor, Habsburg, supported the Society of Jesus. Isabella of Portugal, Holy Roman Empress, wife of Charles V, daughter of Manuel I of Portugal. Francis Xavier, co-founder of the Society of Jesus, pioneering Roman Catholic missionary. Francis Borgia, Duke of Gandia, third Superior General of the Society of Jesus. Philip Neri, Italian priest, worked for the de' Medici family and supported Henry of Navarre. Nicholas Throckmorton, 1515 to 1571, royal diplomat, worked for Elizabeth I, supported Reformation. And again, some are going to say, well, these people were before the 1700s when Freemasonry was started. The roots of it began way before that. That is just when it became public. I think it was still underground back then, and had to do with the again, remember, as I should have copied and pasted, but it was getting long. Maybe I'll do that for tomorrow. CW actually made a post underneath in the comment section of this chapter, of this page on the website, which gave a really good synopsis of Freemasonry. I think that's what I'm going to do, explaining how the roots of Freemasonry are Jewish, and they claim that they own it. James Douglas Morton, Regent of Scotland, supported Reformation. Queen of England Elizabeth I established the Church of England's independence from Rome. 1533. Charles Borromeo, cardinal active in Counter-Reformation, nephew of Medici Pope Pius IV. Francis Drake, sea captain and slave trader, provoked the Spanish Armada. César de Nostradame, son of French astrologer and occultist Michel de Nostradamus. Okay, so his father was Nostradamus. Walter Raleigh, English Protestant aristocrat, explorer, and popularist of tobacco in England. Robert Flood, 1574, an occultist, astrologer, mathematician, and I think it's Hermetic writer. Founder of modern chemistry, Robert Boyle, Royal Society, son of First Earl of Cork. So I guess he was up in Ireland. Christian Huygens, Huygens, don't know how to pronounce that one. Dutch mathematician, founder of modern calculus, Royal Society. Maybe Maria can help me with how to pronounce that. Charles Calvert, Baron Baltimore and proprietary governor of something land. It's cut off. Maybe Poland. I don't know. Isaac Newton, English intellectual, Royal Society, one of the most influential people in history. William Rudolph, 1650, colonist, ancestor of Thomas Jefferson and Chief Justice John Marshall. George Churchill, 1654, younger brother of the Duke of Marlborough. James Blair, Church of England. Charles Montague, Bank of England. William Cavendish, Duke of Devonshire, most recent common ancestor, Charles and Diana. John Wesley, Church of England, cleric, founder of the Methodist movement. Louise of Great Britain, daughter of George II of Great Britain. John Adams, 1735, President of the United States and negotiator of a treaty with UK. And the date that I'm reading it appears to be their birth date. George III, King of the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Ireland. Francis Ashbury, first Bishop of the Methodist Episcopal Church in the United States. John Marshall, first Justice of the United States, developed the American legal system. Must have some Jewish roots in there somewhere. Alexander Hamilton, first U.S. Secretary of the Treasury, founded the U.S. Mint and First National Bank. Robert Peel, Prime Minister of the UK, created the modern concept of the police force. Very interesting. We'll have to have a Catholic investigation into law and order under a Catholic monarchy. Is it the King's Men who would take care of that? Kingsmen? Anti-Pope Pius IX, longest reigning pope in history, centralized the church in the Vatican. Adolphe Thiers, French politician, prime minister and president of the French Republic. Miguel of Portugal, King of Portugal of the House of Braganza, and Knight of the Order of Christ. Sophie of Bavaria, Joseph Smith, American religious leader and founder of the Latter-day Saint Temple of Mormon. Again, remember I read up about Joseph Smith. Giuseppe Garibaldi, Italian revolutionary and Freemason, Grand Master of the Grand Orient of Italy. Napoleon III, President of the French Republic and Emperor of France. Otto of Greece, Pedro of Brazil. Edward VII, Alexander III of Russia. Theodore Roosevelt, President of the United States. Wilhelm II, Adolf Hitler. He was, now some people claim that he wasn't, but he was World War II German head of state and Iron Cross Freemason, notable for starting World War II, sort of. I mean, they were all in it together, so, but he's noted for that. George Washington, first official American president, and he obviously he's on the steps of the Scottish Rite and York Rite. Harry S. Truman, U.S. president, notable for nuclear bombing of Hiroshima and Nagasaki, or at least the bombing. And I say that because there's evidence that, well, just the word nuclear. World War II, Soviet Premier Joseph Stalin, noted for the hit on Ukraine, killing 8 million. Emperor Hirohito, World War II, Emperor of Japan, Empire of the Sun. Sir Winston Churchill, you all know him, head of state, UK. It cut off, but that looks like Eisenhower, I think. Oh no, I'm sorry. It was Franklin Delano Roosevelt, president notable for giving Catholic Poland to brother Joseph Stalin. Interesting. Benito Mussolini, Prime Minister of Italy, founder of Italian fascist Knights of Malta, Freemason. Mel Blanc, voice actor for Bugs Bunny, Woody Woodpecker, Tom and Jerry. J. Edgar Hoover, first director of the FBI, Shriner Freemason. He was probably one of the ones who came up with the whole idea about lying to that it's acceptable within law enforcement. And finally, finally on this piece of paper, there's a lot more. Gerald Ford, I'm going to run through these quick, because now you'll start to recognize the names. Emperor Akito, Japan. Pat Robertson, founder of the 700 Club and Protestant American leader. Billy Graham, 33rd degree Freemason and Protestant American leader. You Protestants have to figure this out. Benjamin Franklin, very influential, established the Postal Service in the United States. and made deals with credit, um, basically enabling the money systems to control the countries, especially for the United States. John Wayne, 1907 to 1979. He's got his hat on. And of course, Albert Pike. Buzz Aldrin. There's a lot of buzz lately about the moon landing, and he's having a very difficult time, or did, and he might have even passed away recently. Sammy Davis Jr., Vladimir Lenin, Karl Marx, Queen Elizabeth II, and Queen Beatrix. So those are a list of a lot of them that you know. And of course, there's thousands more that you don't. It's a tough road we got ahead of us, because they take the initiative and they push the idea that we don't need to do anything, and so they take over. Then, okay, you heard that saying. All it takes for evil to succeed is for good men to do nothing. All right. So that's what we must do. We must act, pray, and act. Good day, early bird. All right, let's begin Mass. Thank you. I'm late, and I knew that was going to take a little bit long to read all those. But the most important is right now. Deum vobiscum, et quoque apote, oremus. O most holy Trinity, the Creator and Redeemer of all the faithful, grant to the souls of thy servants and handmaids the remission of all their sins, that they may obtain, by loving prayers, the forgiveness which they have always desired, who livest and reignest with thee, one divine family, forever and ever. Suscipe Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum hanc immaculatum hostium, quam ego indignius famulos tuus offeriti Deum meum vivum et verum, pro inumidibus peccatis et offensionibus et negligentis meis, et pro omnibus circumstantibus, sed et pro omnibus fidelibus catholicorum vivis atque defunctis ut mihi et idis proficit ad salutem. Deum qui cumulae substantia dignitatem medibiritu condiditio medibiritus reformastur de nobis periuis atque tu in mysterium, eis divinitatis esse consortis criminitatis nostrae, fieri dignotis es particips, Deum Iesum Christum Filium, qui tecum vivit et regnat in unitate Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum. Offerimus tibi Deum calicem saectaris tuum de peccantis clementiam ut aspectu divinae maestatis tuae, pro nostra et totus mundi salute, cum adoris suavitatis ascendat. In spiritu humilitatis et in anima contritus suscipiam orate Deum Iesum Christum, et sic fiat sacrificium nostrum ec spiritu tuo hodie ut placiat tibi Deum atrum nostra Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum. Veni sanctificatum. Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum, et sanctificite plate prosequendo, et accepere hoc sacrificium tuo sanctum nomini praeparatum. Suscipe Sancta Trinitas Sancoblationum cum tibi ferimus a memoriam passionis, resurrectionis et discensionis Deum Iesum Christum, et in honorem Deum Matronam Nostrae et Papa Peter Sanctorum, et Istorum et omnium Sanctorum, ut idis proficiat ad honorem, nobis autem et salutem et ili pro nobis intercedere in internum caelis, quorum amore magimus in tedis per inum Christum Deum nostrum. Orate ut mema questum sacrificium acceptabile fiera petem Patrum Spiritum Sanctum. Suscipia Deum Iesum Christum sacrificium de manibus tuis et laudam et gloriam nominis sui ad utilitatem quoque nostrum totiusque ecclesiae suae sanctae. Deum vobiscum, quoque apud sursum corda habemus ad Deum, gratias agamus Deum nostrum, dignum et justum est. De exutor limites in mater pater Deum matrum nostrae Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum per Deum Iesum Christum filium tuum Deum nostrae, supplices rogamus ad petimus. Uti accepta habeas et sanctificas haec sanctam sacrificium edibata. In primis quae tibia feremus pro ecclesiam tuam sanctam catholicam, quam pacificare custodidia honori et regere dignitis toto obiterarum atque catholicae. Memento Deum famulorum que tuorum. We pray for the sick and the suffering. We especially pray for Katie Gage, R.M. Neal and Earl Lively, Maria Josephina Mose, Letitia Mindy and Clarette, Mark Jr., Robert Dasco Sr. and Jr., Rochelle Dasco, Barbara and Benedict Santa Croce, Mr. Nobody, Anne Botink, the Cantu and Duarte families, Luis Antonio Cantu, Michaela McLarnon and family, Sarah and Becky, Jenna, Lena, Lori, Aaron and family, Maria and the Lineweber family, the Short and Kendrick Dasco, Nye, Tafur, Began, Wolf, and Kane families, and their intentions. We pray that Mr. Nobody receives the funding and strength needed to complete the first Sede Vacantis Catholic Council office in Monastery of Illinois. We pray for an end to all governmental allowance or sanctioning of abortion, transgenderism, transhumanism, child trafficking, child abuse of any kind, anywhere, place, or time. We pray for the establishment of a Catholic monarchy with a sound Catholic system of labor, human value, and medium exchange with no usury, and one that will root out all of these abuses and corruption within our world. We pray for courageous men to step forward as leaders of this Catholic society. We ask Deum Matronum Nostra, Deum Iesum Christum et Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum, with this Mass and our rosaries. Please force the world to make the Jews the sole focus of their anger, and please free us, Catholics, from all financial enslavement to these Jews. Please leave the Jews in Israel unprotected by any government or governmental entity. We ask that women cease working for Freemasons and corporations everywhere. We ask for the reversal of legislation allowing quote-unquote gay marriage. We ask that all pornography in the OnlyFans platform be stopped immediately, and that men and women come to understand the raising of traditional Catholic families is a very high ideal and a necessity for sustaining a Catholic society. All this we ask in accordance with the Most Holy Trinity's divine will and intention. Et omnium circumstantium quorum tibi fides cognita est in nota devotio proquibus tibi feremus, velqui tibi affrontox sacrificium laudis, pro se suisque omnibus, pro redemptione anomarum suarum prospe salutis et egolamitatis suae, tibi quiridunt vota sua aeterna Deum vivo et vero, communicantes eb amore orantes in primis gloriosae, semper Deum Matronam Nostrae, et Deum Iesum Christum, et beatorum martyrium tuorum Papae Sancti Petri, et Sancti Luci, et Sancti Jacinta, et Sancti Francisco, et Sancti Juan Diego, et omnem sanctorum tuorum quorum editis praecibusque concedas, ut in omnibus protectionis tuae munum ad exidio per illum Christum Deum nostrum, quam oblationem te Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum in omnibus, consecratum acceptabulum fecedi dignitis ut nobis corpum, et sanguinem fiat dedictissimi filium tuum Deum Iesum Christum, qui predidie quam pateretur recepit panem sanctus aquanabilis manus suas, et derivatis oculis in calamate Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum suum omnipotentem tibi gratias agens. Consecravit, frege didique lumnis sui dicens, accipit et mandacate ex hoc omnes. Hoc est enim corpus meum. Simini mero postcum ceremone est accipiens et hunc preclarum canicement sanctus aquanabilis manus suis, item tibi gratias agens Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum, consecrabit de diquellum sui dicens accipite et vivite ex eo omnis. Hic est enim calix sanguinis mei mysterium fidei, quae pro nobis et pro multis effundetur in remissionem peccatorum, aequo te simplificatitis in emone facilitis. Unde et memores Deum nos servituis et plebs tua sancta iustum Christum Filium tuum Deum nostrae, tam beate passionis nec non et ben fidis resurrectionis, sed et in caelos gloriosa escensionis, afferimus praeclare maiestati tuae de tuis donis actatis, supra quae propitio ac sereno vultur respicieri digneris. Supplices te ragamus Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum ibe hec per fide per manus tuum ut quod ex hoc altaris participationis sacrosanctum Deum Filium tuum, corpus et sanguinum subsenimus, omni sanctificatione caelestia gratia Dei per amor per in Christum Deum nostrae. We pray for those who have died. We especially pray for Bill Verme, for whom this Mass is being offered. We also pray for Paulette Scott. Ipsis Deum et omnibus in Christum quiscentibus locum refugieri, ducis et pacis ut ondor geste proclamar per in Christum Deum nostrum, per quem hec omnia Deum Iesum Christum semper bona creas. Sanctificas, vivibicas, consecratis et praestas nobis. Per ipsum et cum ipso et in ipso. Est tibi Deum Matrum omnipotenti in unitate Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum, omnis honor et gloria. Ave Dea, matronam nostrae, gratia plena Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum tecum, sanctam tuum in mulieribus. Dea matronam nostrae, matram Deum Iesum Christum, misericordia nobis peccatoribus nunc et in hora mortis nostrae. Libera nos quaesimus Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum ab omnibus malis, praeteritis praesentibus et futuris, et intercedente beata gloriosa semper Dei matronam nostrae, cum Papa Petrum Sanctorum et omnibus sanctis da propitios pacem in diebus nostris, ut ope misericordiae tuae aduiti te peccato, simus semper liberi et ab omni perturbatione securi. Per iendum Deum nostrum Iesum Christum Filium tuum Deum nostrum, qui tecum vivit et reinat in unitate Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum, per aeternam. Pax Deum Iesum Christum sit semper vobiscum et quoque apud te, haecum extio consecratio corporis et sanguinis Deum Iesum Christum, fiat accipientibus nobis in ad salutem aeternam. Pax tecum et quoque apud te. Deum Iesum Christum, qui ex voluntate Deum matronam nostrae, quo prande Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum, per mortem tuam unum vivificasti, libera me per hoc sacrosanctum corpus et sanguinum tuum ab omnibus iniquitatibus meis, et universis malis, et fac me tui semper in harare mandatis, et in numquam separare permittas, qui cum eodem Deum matronam nostrae et Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum, vivis et reinam aeternam. Perceptio corporis tui Deum Iesum Christum, quod ego indinius sumere praesimo non mihi provini et inidicum condonationem, sed pro tu pietate prosit mihi ad tutum intimitisse corporis, et ad medelam percipiendam, qui vivis et reinas cum Deum matronam nostrae in unitate Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum. Panem celestem equipiem et nomen Deum Iesum Christum invocabo. Deam matronum nostrum non sundinius, ut et esudet meas in tactis glorious noviternum mea. Deum Iesum Christum non sundinius, ut et esudet meas in tactis glorious noviternum mea. Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum non sundinius, ut et esudet meas in tactis glorious noviternum mea. Corpus Deum nostrum Iesum Christum custodiet anima mea. Quid retubum Deum Iesum Christum pro omnibus, quae retubuit mihi, calicem salutaris accipiem in nomen Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum invocabo, laudans invocabo Deum matronum nostrae, et ab inimicis mei salvus ero. Sanguis Deum nostrum Iesum Christum custodiet anima mea. Corpus Deum nostrum Iesum Christum custodiet animam tuum. Quotoris sumus Deum Iesum Christum puramente capiamus et immunem et parafit nobis remedium sempiternum. Corpus tuum Deum Iesum Christum quod sumpsit sanguis quam petare et heriat visceribus meis apraesta, ut in me non remaniat scelerum macula quem purat sancta reficerunt sacramenta. Deum obiscum, et quoque apotei, oremus. May the prayer of thy suppliants profit the souls of thy servants and handmaids, we beseech you, most holy Trinity, that thou mayest free them from all sins and make them sharers in thy redemption, who livest and reignest with thee, one divine family, forever and ever. Deum obiscum, et quoque apotei, ite mises, Deum gratia. Sanctia tibi sancta Trinitam obsequium suffitutis meae, et praesta ut sacrificum corporis tuae majestatis in nus authoritatis et acceptabile quid omnibus, pro quibus irut auctoristi miserante perpetuabile per Christum Deum nostrum. Sanctificat vos omnipotens Deum, Matronam et Filium et Spiritum Sanctum, Deum Matronam Nostrae, Deum Iesum Christum et Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum. Gracias. O most Holy Trinity, I believe, I venerate, I hope, and I love thee. I beg of thee pardon for those who do not believe, do not venerate, do not hope, and do not love thee. Most Holy Trinity, Deum Matronam Nostrae, et Deum Iesum Christum, et Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum. I venerate thee profoundly, and I offer to thee the most precious body, blood, soul, and divinity of Deum Iesum Christum, present here in reparation for the outrages, sacrileges, and indifference by which he himself is offended, and through the infinite merits of his most sacred heart and immaculate heart of Deum Matronam Nostrae, I beg of thee the conversion of poor sinners. In nomine Deum Matronam Nostrae, et Deum Iesum Christum, et Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum. Gracias. Thank you very much for attending, and appreciate the comments in the chat and the comments in this section. We've lost a few subscribers over the last week or so, which I'm not surprised about, actually. You know, they come, they explore, and if it's too hard to accept, they leave. And truth sometimes can be hard to accept. And that's where, you know, the practice in humility really, really comes in. And also the ability not to judge rashly. And so we want to practice those Catholic virtues. Thank you for commenting before Mass also, okay? We like to keep during Mass quiet in the comments section, and I appreciate that. Thank you for your donations. Every little bit helps. For those in Europe, there's the WISE app, which is has like practically no fees. It's also usable in the States, so if anybody's looking for a low fee, I mean, some of them don't cost anything, obviously, but for the anything I believe overseas, there's a fee. PayPal always takes money out, no matter what. I just get a chuckle out of Bezos right now. We won't get into that. We'll see you tomorrow morning. Tomorrow at the Good Day Rising, same time, 7:30. Please go and sanctify all those you meet. Have a great day.